Paw Patrol. It's one of the most popular preschool shows right now on Nickelodeon/Nick Jr. Why? Because it involves a boy with 6 pups and they go on adventures solving problems and everything. I mean, how else can you describe it? That's right, everyone. For my first review on this channel, I'm going to be reviewing Paw Patrol, talking about the stories that they go through, the characters, animation, and as well as a fandom and some of the toxic stuff that's inside this fandom. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm reviewing a cartoon kids show. Well, main reason is because I can. So sit back and enjoy while I review this. So to start, Paw Patrol is a Canadian CGI animated children's television series created by Keith Chapman, the same person who made Bob the Builder. It's also produced by Spin Master Entertainment and Guru Studios. So let's get into the main plot. Basically, the show is about a 10-year-old boy named Ryder who owns 6 pups: Marshall, Rubble, Chase, Rocky, Zuma, and Sky. And they go on rescue missions, solving problems that other people have in Adventure Bay. Most of the rescue missions that they do can vary most of the times. For one thing, it could be a kitten stuck in a tree, penguins loose in Adventure Bay, any other kind of rescue that's random at most times. When there is a rescue, the writer usually calls on 2 or 3 pups that are usually fit perfect for the mission. Now, some of the problems that happen in Adventure Bay are usually caused by certain characters from Adventure Bay, like Captain Turbot or Mayor Goodway or some of the kids. And most of the time, the villain in the show, Mayor Humdinger, who's the mayor of Foggy Bottom. There's other villains in this show too, but they are mostly in either the sub-series or TV movie specials. Now let's talk about the main characters in the show. So for one, you have Ryder, who's a 10-year-old tech-savvy boy. He's basically the leader of the Paw Patrol. And then you have the Dalmatian pup, Marshall, who serves as a firefighter and EMT. And then you also have Chase, who is second in command. He is a police officer / spy dog. And then you have other dogs like Rubble, who's supposed to be a construction worker. And then you also have Rocky, who is a mixed breed who serves as an eco-recycling pup. And then you have a chocolate Labrador named Zuma, who serves as an aquatic dog who does water rescue missions. And then we have the female pup, Sky, who serves as a flying pilot dog. There are other pups too that are in the show. For instance, Everest, who is a husky who is a snow mountain pup. And then there's Tracker, who is a pot cake that does jungle missions. And then we have the Mighty Twins, Tuck and Ella, and the newest Paw Patrol member, Rex, who is a dino expert. Now, unlike the other 6 pups, these 4 only recruit in certain episodes or in certain sub-series. Tuck and Ella are in the Mighty Pup sub-series, and Rex is only in the Dino Rescue sub-series. There's also some human characters like Jake, Carlos, Katie, Mayor Goodway, and other human characters that usually appear in the show as well. Overall, there are some characters that are pretty good, decent, and some that are just not okay and or overused. I'll talk about those overused ones in a later segment. Now, the animation style in this show is actually not that bad at all. I mean, it's just a typical CGI animation for nowadays most cartoons, since that's what they're going for. And they don't usually use original 2D animation, but it's pretty decent and it flows really well. And the character designs in the animation are pretty decent as well. Now, like every movie, show, cartoon, etc., there's always going to be a fandom, and Paw Patrol has a pretty big fandom. Now, even though this show is aimed for preschoolers, the fans for this show range from teenagers to grown-up adults. And honestly, it's pretty cool. Some fans of the show have made fan art as well, but I can't really show those. Others have started a wiki page of the show and have made Facebook groups too. Some well-known Facebook groups are Paw Patrol Protectors, Paw Patrol Fans, Another Paw Patrol Fans, Paw Patrol Ultimate Fandom, Paw Patrol Girls, many different Paw Patrol groups. Now, there is a ton of merch for this show. It can vary through anything. For instance, like toys, various toys. Then there's also t-shirts, even t-shirts for adults, as well as hats, other types of clothes, as well as Build-A-Bear toys. In this picture right here, this is my collection of the Build-A-Bear Paw Patrol collection. I have all of them. I'm just waiting for the Mighty Pups and Rex when they release them. So if you're ever looking for any type of merch related to Paw Patrol, you can go to your nearest Target, Walmart, or even Amazon. Now, because the show has gotten really popular, there's also live stage shows. I haven't been to any of the live stage shows, but hopefully soon, once the virus is over with, I can at least see one of them. There's only two. There's Ready Race Rescue and The Great Pirate Adventure. Both I heard are pretty good from some of my friends who actually seen it. Hopefully I'll be able to see those soon. But yeah, really popular live shows. There are also 3 Paw Patrol movie specials. There's the first one, which is The Mighty Pups, which then later came into a sub-series. Then there's a second one, which is Ready Race Rescue. And then we have the new upcoming one coming in September, which is Jet to the Rescue. And I'm very excited to see that one as well, because it involves Everest and Tracker. There is also supposed to be a theatrical movie that's going to be coming out in 2021. And I am very excited to see that one when it releases. So now that we covered most of like the positive stuff in the show, in the fandom, we now have to get into some of the more negative kind of things that go on. Now, ever since I started watching the show, I have noticed that they've been overusing certain characters, especially like some missions. Like I noticed Ryder always uses like most of like the pups instead of like Zuma all the time, and then they always overuse the main villain, Mayor Humdinger, all the time as well. I know, especially like when during missions, Ryder would always use Chase in every single mission. Almost every episode, every mission, he always uses Chase, Rubble, or Rocky, and especially Sky. Never the times like it's either Zuma or Marshall in any missions. But what about the other Paw Patrol members, such as Everest, Tracker, the Mighty Twins, and Rex? Well, they're not used that often as well either. Now, I do know that the newer pups are technically recurring characters, but it's kind of sad that they don't get enough screen time in the show. Even though, like, during certain missions, like for Tracker, for example, he's only there in jungle missions. The Mighty Twins, only in Mighty Pups episodes. And Rex, only in the Dino Rescue episodes. I mean, holy crap, like even in the Mighty Pups Super Paws sub-series, the Mighty Twins were only in like maybe like 5 or 6 episodes. Will we ever see Tuck and Ella again in any Mighty Pups episodes? Maybe or not. I mean, as far as I know, they said that Mighty Pups hasn't ended yet. We're just gonna have to wait patiently and see what happens. Now, I'm not gonna get too detailed with this topic, but from what I know in some Facebook groups and on the wiki, some people have complained that some of the episodes are not that good. Like some of them are getting repetitive, and like certain missions are kind of like, what's the point? It kind of varies with the fans. So where do I stand on this topic? Well, I mean, there's some good episodes, there's some bad ones. There's always a mixture of both in any TV show. Can't really do anything about it. Now, with the marketing and advertising for Paw Patrol, it's kind of not that good. If you've noticed, like on some products or clothing, you only see the pups Marshall, Chase, and Rubble, and sometimes Sky and Everest. You never see any of like Rocky or Zuma or all the pups together on some. Now, occasionally you do see sometimes Marshall, Chase, and Rocky, or Marshall, Chase, and Zuma, but it's more of like the popular ones, which are Marshall, Chase, Rubble, and Sky, and sometimes Everest. Also, with the toys, some of the toys usually promote some of the sub-series that are usually in the show. For example, the Mighty Pup toys. You have all the pups, including Everest, and the Mighty Twins as well, which are in the sub-series. But what about Tracker? Well, there is a Mighty Pups toy for Tracker, but Tracker's not in Mighty Pups.
Why?
There were a good majority of fans, and I included myself as one of them, that were very upset that Tracker was not in any of the Mighty Pups Super Paw sub-series episodes. Will we see him in them? I'm not sure. But yeah, the marketing and advertising, it's not the best. I guess you wouldn't call them controversies. You can morally call them like backlashes on the show. I know some people have complained about how there's not enough girls in the show. You only have Sky, Everest, and Ella, and there's not that much of a diversity in the show. There was also an article that I read saying how the show, like, since it mostly contains boys, like, how come there's no girl police dog or a female firefighter dog? But the most annoying and stupidest controversy was earlier this year, like a month ago, was with Chase and how he represents a good cop and cops don't represent positively, and that the show was getting canceled because they have Chase representing as a good cop, which some people believe that there are no good cops. But just to let you know, Paw Patrol's not getting canceled. They're like going on to like their 8th season pretty soon. Oh my god. Yes, we're finally getting down to one of the biggest problems in the fandom, and that is shipping. This is probably one of the biggest problems in the fandom because there are people who ship, the pups in the show and want them to be in a relationship in the show. And then you have the people who hate shipping the pups because the pups are young and they just don't want it to happen in the show. And they'll, sometimes like attack those who want it to happen in the show. Now, some of the popular shippings that I've seen in the fandom are with Chase and Sky, and there are some with Marshall and Everest, and I'm pretty sure there's either one of like Ella and Rocky or Zuma and Ella. But yeah, there's a lot of fans who are really pushing for Chase and Sky to be a couple, as well as Marshall and Everest. But one person has reached out to the current director of Paw Patrol and messaged him on Twitter if Chase and Sky were ever going to be a couple on the show. And the director, Ted Bastine, has confirmed that they're not going to be a couple, and that the pups are just simply friends, and we shouldn't expect them to be girlfriend or boyfriend in the show, since it is technically aimed for preschoolers. Although he has said that he doesn't mind fans like using their imagination to ship these characters, but to not complain that their relationship is not going to be in the show. So where do I stand with the whole shipping problem? Well, honestly, I really don't care. I'm not against shipping, but I'm also not for it. I'm more neutral. Like, if people want to ship characters, that's fine. Go ahead. as long as you don't take it too far. Overall, with shipping, it's kind of like back and forth. There's just so much drama with it. If people want to ship these pups, go right ahead. But to people who are against it, don't attack them, just let them be. I also wanted to add a small little detail that some people complain about revolving the pup Tracker, and how some people say he's a Chihuahua when he's not a Chihuahua, he's technically a pot cake. And I've asked the director of Paw Patrol what breed Tracker is, and he has confirmed that he is indeed a pot cake dog, which makes sense because if he was a Chihuahua, he would have to be smaller than Sky, which he's obviously bigger than Sky, so obviously pot cake. So aside from some of the negative things in the show as well as in the fandom, Paw Patrol is actually a pretty good show, and I can't wait to see how far it goes. I'm waiting for the 8th season to come and the new movie. Overall, I give this show an 8.5 out of 10. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching my review, and I will see you on the next one.